Rafael Devers, a little chip on his shoulder, but there's some other guys who have a chip on their shoulder going into the season. So you're going to give us a list, and we're going to rank them from boulder, stone, and pebble. Those are the type of chips we're looking at.
Okay.
Should we start with one Pete Alonso? Speaking of drama this offseason.
I'm going to say stone, and this is why. I think temporarily his feelings were hurt because he hit that big home run off of Devin Williams to send them to that series against the Philadelphia Phillies. Multiple home run derby champ. He's been nothing but a Met, and I think he was expecting and seeking a very long-term lucrative deal, shorter-term, higher AVE, but I think he's happy to be back as a Met, but I do think he has a stone, not a pebble. He's a little irritated.
I could see that. It was a long, drawn-out
process.
Yeah,
it went almost till
yeah, there's
pitchers
fan
and catchers.
fest. Yeah, there were comments made, but now hopefully it's all water under the bridge. So I agree with you on the stone. Let's talk about the size of the chip on the shoulder of Mike Trout. Obviously struggled with injuries, now moving over to right field. How's he feeling?
Big old boulder. I think there's so much talk about Aaron Judge and Ohtani and Bobby Witt Jr. that it's kind of been out of sight, out of mind. The last few years, he's been riddled with a lot of injuries. He hasn't forgotten how to play. He's making the move from center field to right field. If healthy, he was on track to be the modern-day version of Mickey Mantle. I mean, all the records, this guy was in the mix as the best player in baseball. I think 2025, he's got an axe to grind, and he wants to be that guy again. Don't bet against him.
Let's get Trout back on the map. I would love to see it, or radar, or whatever meteorology term I can throw out there, because, you know, Trout, we love you. We know you're a meteorologist. Let's move over. Speaking of switching positions, Wilson Contreras moving from catcher to first.
I'm going to say stone, and the only reason why is he's probably looking at this thinking, wow, this hasn't turned out the way I thought it was going to be when I signed with the Cardinals, but I no longer have to put on that catching gear. I'm not going to break my fingers. I'm not going to have broken toes. I'm going to pick a new glove. I'm going to go to first base, and this might bring some added life to that bat, some added life to his body, because catching is a tough position. But catching in St. Louis in June, July, and August, because it is brutally hot there, I think he's going to like to move to first base.
I agree with you. He jokingly told his brother he was going to hit 62 bombs this season.
Ooh, that's a lot.
So, yeah, I was going to say he's setting the bar high, my dude. Moving on to Bobby Witt Jr. I don't know if you had anything to do with this, Dan, but he was ranked number 4 in the MLB Network top 10 shortstops. What's the deal with that?
I think outwardly, pebble. I'm going to go with pebble. But I think inwardly, and he will never say that.
Thank you.
He's going to say boulder or rock. There aren't enough people throughout the game of baseball because the Royals don't play as much on national TV as they should, but that may be changing. There aren't a lot of guys in baseball that can do what this guy can do. Hit for power, hit for average, plays a premier position at shortstop. He is without question one of the top 5 players in baseball, and in my opinion, he is the most underrated, great player that we have playing the game right now. He is a superstar.
Preach, Dan. Preach. Okay, moving on. Justin Verlander, we know JV just signed with San Francisco. He's not exactly a spring chicken, but he's looking to prove some people wrong.
This is an easy one. This is a boulder. This is a guy that's destined to go to the Hall of Fame. He wants to go to the Hall of Fame, wants to win 300 games. What we've seen from Justin Verlander the last couple of seasons has all been due to health related. I want to see this guy healthy again because he hasn't forgotten how to pitch. And if it's about desire, it's about experience. He has everything you're looking for. I think he's going to be pitching with a chip on his shoulder, a good ballpark for him to pitch in. I expect him to have a big 2025.